He just gave people a visceral image of how people could feel if there was a different approach to government. But it didn't preach the issues. And the soundbite slogan was simply, "Are you better off now than 4 years ago?" And that reminded people somehow in the back of their heads about the Carter recession and the gas lines and the shaky confrontation with the Ayatollahs in Iran, but the specifics were never mentioned. It was a feel-good thing, and it worked. The appeal was heavy on emotion, portrayed Reagan as a likable guy, but it was light on preaching the conservative principles of people like Arthur Laffer, which would be the foundation of his governing. It didn't scare people. That's the clue for libertarians. Don't scare people. Learn how to use the tricks to win. Okay? Now, ironically, and this really hit me in the craw when I studied it, if you jump forward to the 2008 presidential campaign, Barack Obama won the presidency on an almost identical campaign to Reagan 1980. You didn't really hear about his left-wing agenda. That was left for later. What you heard about was change you can believe in. And that change was never specified. So there was this slate, and the voter could write in whatever change they imagined it was. That was basically the campaign. And I remember looking at that and saying, wow, this is so similar to what we went through with Reagan in 1980. And sure enough, in a post-election interview, David Axelrod admitted that the Obama campaign studied 50 years of political campaigns, zeroed in on Reagan's 1980 campaign, and adopted it as their own campaign blueprint. Think about that. So, to sum up my premise, it's time the liberty movement grows up. It's time to not be so politically preachy and pure that you can't get elected. It's time to think of winning for a change. It's time to think of electability. Use the tricks needed to win. Because once you're in office, it's amazing what you can say and get away with. I mean, nobody pays attention. Hey, I got a congressman up my way from one of the districts, I swear to God. He's Nancy Pelosi's lapdog down in Washington. But he comes home to the district and makes people think he's a blue dog Democrat. They don't pay any attention to what the hell he's doing down in Washington. They get reelected because he's a nice guy. He's up there with the ribbon cuttings. He brings the checks to the community center. Okay? You can get away with a hell of a lot once you're in office. But you got to win first. You got to win first. The best advice I can give you for campaigns, I started with a guy that never managed a campaign, gave the best campaign advice in the world, Vince Lombardi. Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. And I'm going to finish with a guy who gave the best campaign advice in the world, never managed a political campaign. The late Steve Jobs told every new employee at Apple, be a yardstick of quality. Some people aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. That's the lesson for Liberty Republicans. Expect excellence from your candidate, expect excellence from your campaign, and win. Okay? Anybody want to debate me? I'm supposed to be here, but that was supposed to be my part of the debate. And apparently my debate partner hasn't shown up, so debate, argue, ask questions, go ahead.
You win.
Yeah, that's great. I win by default, right? The other team didn't show up, take the ice. Yeah, go ahead.
I've run for office several times, and I'm probably an ideological. I know what you're talking about. But the only thing I see wrong with your theory is when you're pragmatic and you say what you think you need to get in there. I don't see the big switch when they win. They just stay pragmatic after they win, and they don't stand for anything.
We're not talking about the quality liberty candidates then. See, that's the difference. I'm not talking about the establishment Republicans. I'm saying that the Liberty Republicans have not yet learned how to play the game. And it is, unfortunately, politics is a game. Right? I mean, Democrats live, breathe, and die 24 hours a day. Just politics winning, I remember years ago, when, I'll get to you in a second. Years ago when I was communications director to the legislative Republicans, I was out drinking with my Democrat counterpart one night. Hey, you know, I don't let politics get in the way of their personalities. I mean, Bill Buckley put it great one time when somebody asked, how the hell can you be such a great personal friend of John Kenneth Galbraith? And Buckley said, like Lord Acton, I vote with the Tories and drink with the socialists. So I'm out drinking with my Democrat counterpart, and you drink a little too much beer and nature starts taking its toll, right? Republican office locked up tight, I don't have a key. He goes, let's go to the Democrat office. 11 o'clock at night, we got a lot of beer we gotta get rid of. I figure he's got a key, we're gonna get in, he's gonna flip the light on, right? 11 o'clock at night, the place was lit up like a Christmas tree. The back door was open, and we walk in, and there's about 30 people doing campaign work at 11 o'clock at night. And I look around, and they're all the faces I recognize who during the day are working over at the State House. They're working in various government agencies, they're working in the Democrat legislative office, and here they are 11 o'clock at night doing all this work. And the reason is the Democrats know how to play the game. We go in the back room where the John is, and as we come back, he points up the plaque on the wall where the public couldn't see it. It was over the door jamb on the inside of the room where the supply closet and the bathroom was. And it read, remember, they've all got government jobs, right? It read, if we don't win, you don't eat. What a great incentive to spend your free time helping the campaigns, candidates that can keep you in your jobs. You know, you got a question?
Well, I was going to comment on what you said.
Yeah.
If you start out and you say what you need to get elected, then, you know, how are you going to quit? I ran an election too, October, and my issue was that here I am, I'm this Liberty candidate. I got all these Liberty-oriented people behind me, but the minute you want to, you say what you need to say to the hardcore GOP, they start turning on you, oh my gosh, how dare you? And as a candidate, you're like, look guys, I need you, but then they start questioning you, and so then you've got to balance for both the GOP and the Liberty, and so it seems like us as the voters who are Liberty-minded need to understand the dilemma that the candidates face.
Perhaps I misspoke. I did not say whatever it takes to win. I said hold it in reserve. If you believe strongly, and you've got to research your district, and you've got to know what the voters think. If you believe strongly in issues A, B, and C, see in my book, I don't like to talk issues because that would scare people and cloud their minds and they wouldn't pay attention to the lesson. So I just refer to it that way. Okay. You believe strongly in issues A, B, and C. But your research finds that the voters care about issues X, Y, and Z. And amongst those three issues, you find one of them that you can say something that you agree with. Well, why scare them with A, B, and C, which isn't on their mind? Focus on one of those other three issues that you believe something in, but that's what they care about. That's why polling is so strong. You know, when I do congressional campaigns and gubernatorial campaigns, and especially when I'm doing referenda campaigns, we do a lot of polling just to find out what the voters are thinking. Because once you know what they're thinking, you know how to talk to them. It's that simple. Now, I mentioned candidate, and related to that, this is another problem I have with some candidates. I mentioned that you have to show the candidate, to the public, that you're likable, and they can trust you. What's the first thing you need to do to be likable to the voter?
Kiss a baby.
I don't need the cosmetic. What is the crucial thing? Go ahead.
Get them talking, ask them what they think.
How do you do that?
You ask them what they think.
But why? I'm getting at something here, and I want to see if anybody picks up on it. When I get a candidate, when I'm doing my campaign schools and I got a group like this, the first one who gives me the correct answer, I tag as a winner. I know they're going to win. What is the first thing you need to get the candidates to like you?
The voters that can't.
Smile.
Smile, that's a technique.
Get them to invest their time.
Yeah, how do they do that? Anybody got the answer to this? Now think carefully of this. See, I'm hearing the cosmetic, you're going to kiss a baby. You don't care about the baby. Do you like the voter? Yeah, see what I'm saying? You've got to like them to get them to like you. Capiche? You understand what I'm saying here?
You have to be a people lover.
Exactly.
For politics.
You don't
You're
count.
not
You are one of
lover,
those.
but I do the same work.
You know her? She's a ringer. She knows how to do it.
Okay.
Okay, you're right.
And if you don't love people, what the hell are you doing in politics?
Exactly.
You have to be in the back room, helping the one.
Yes, you can do
Yeah.
the stuffing of the envelopes.
Yeah, you do, but I mean, I'm talking about the candidate.
Right.
It comes across to the voters if it's, hi, how are you? It's good to see you. You notice what he's just done? I hate candidates like this. I'm shaking his hand. I'm not even looking him in the eye. I'm looking at him. I had a lobbyist tell me once, and she said it was incredible. She said years before he became known as a presidential candidate, he was at the time the obscure governor of Arkansas. She was at a function in D.C. with a lot of lobbyists, and over at the bar, they determined this guy was a winner. Because she said Bill Clinton had one technique you just can't teach a candidate. We worked on it in my campaign schools. We do military type drills for 2 hours, teach them just how to walk up and shake hands. I swear to God, you'd be bored in my campaign school if you don't like doing it, but it's important. It's like football, right? You drill, so it's second nature when you're out in the field during a game. She said Clinton had this knack. She said we knew somehow in his peripheral vision he's looking to see who he's supposed to talk to next.